Hey, Scared Gamers and everything in between. Guess what? My mom's coworker gave me some more Angel stuff, so we're gonna take a look at it. Yes, it is the same coworker that gave us the baseball cards and also the signed baseball over there. Same person. So let's see what we got. First up on the docket, we'll have Mike Napoli here. Napoli debuted with the Angels in 2006. As you can tell, he was a catcher. He got traded to the Rangers, I believe, in the 10-11 off season. Short tenure here with the Angels, but he's pretty good. Towards the end of his career, he actually switched to first base because the first baseman was hurt, Kendrys Morales, and Jeff Mathis, who was the other catcher with the Angels at the time, came back. So since he could play first base, he moved to first base. But here, obviously, it's Bobblehead celebrating his accomplishments as a catcher. I believe he had the most home runs for a catcher in 2010. So, I mean, good job, Mike. Nice to have you in Bobblehead form. Next up here is John Lackey. John Lackey, pretty famous. He was instrumental in the Angels' one and only World Series appearance and victory in 2002. He sort of bounced between being a starter and a reliever, but his pitching in that World Series, especially during Game 7, helped the Angels, get the pennant. He was, I believe, 68th overall in the 1999 draft. Was called up mid-season 2002, June-ish, I believe. And, he's a pretty good guy. Obviously, bobblehead worthy just for his performance in 2002 alone. I don't think this is from 2002, though, considering, the rest of these aren't that old. Not much else you could say. So, John Lackey, you're going in the cabinet. Up next, we have Peter Borges, which I noticed is missing an arm. It's okay, Peter. Hard to field the ball without your left hand, but what do we know? Peter Borges, famous 2011. He had a 3-run inside the park home run in a game the Angels played against the Minnesota Twins. Unfortunately, they ended up losing that game. Typical Angels stat line. Somebody does something crazy, and they end up losing. So, Peter Borges, he was primarily an outfielder, center fielder. Unfortunately, when Mike Trout started to emerge as this really dominant player, beating all the expectations, people had a lot of high expectations for him. He kind of lost his job and was eventually, I believe, traded to the St. Louis Cardinals, where he played a lot of games. But Peter, I respect inside the park home runs greatly. So. You're going in the case. Up here we have two, count them, different. I guess this is more of a standee, and this is a bobblehead of Angels legend Albert Pujols. Obviously, he didn't start with the Angels. He started with the, speaking of St. Louis Cardinals from Peter Borges, he actually started in the Cardinals organization. Played with them for 10 years before signing a 10-year deal with the Angels in free agency. Notably, within his Angels career, he notched a career 500 and 600 career home runs, which obviously is impressive. And I believe what these two figurines are meant to signify. So good job, Pujols. Obviously, the Pujols contract, quote unquote, has kind of been the poster boy of not so great contracts in the major leagues. A lot of drama. The Angels released him in, I believe, the 2021 season. He got picked up by the Dodgers. Then he spent his final year with the Cardinals, so that way he can retire as a Cardinal. More recent news, he led Team Dominican Republic to a bronze medal finish in the World Baseball Classic of 2026. And before that, he was actually, in the rumor mill between him and Torrey Hunter for the Angels' vacant head manager position for the 2026 and beyond season. after the Angels let go of Ron Washington. My mom didn't like him because apparently he was too much in the chisme, kept talking a lot with the first base guys, so I don't know. Obviously, last but not least is the second coming of Kingfish himself, Michael Nelson Trout. Doesn't really look like him. I mean, kinda, if you squint. But of all the players here, he's the only one who's still in the major leagues. This here appears to be celebrating his him stealing bases, which earlier on in his career he did a lot of. Actually, he's already stolen a base in 2026 too, so you know that's great. I mean, he's a slugger. He was Mr. Baseball for the better part of the 2010s, really. I mean, you think of baseball, you think of Mike Trout. So, I mean, what else can I say that hasn't been said already, other than I hope he keeps kicking ass. And I already have a Trout bobblehead because I love him. That also doesn't really look like him, but the picture behind him sure does. That's a Trout hat too. So now, I gotta put him in the cabinet. Watch. I'm gonna do the thing where the funny YouTubers, they snap, and suddenly magic will happen. So watch. I don't know if I did that right, but here's the new. I guess we can open it up. Here's the new Angels level display here. Sorry, Peter Bourgeot, but you know, with the missing arm, I had to put him in the corner. Pujols is on both sides. Can't have too many Pujols close together. You can have two Mike Trouts close together. I believe in that. And Mike Napoli and John Lackey here. I quite like it. I like the layout. I think it's all right. I don't know what I'll do with the Trout hat. Maybe I can shove the Trout hat up top here. No. Anyway, new Angels layout, new Angels merch, all that fun stuff. Rally Monkey.